Terms like child abuse and human trafficking are not ones that you would normally associate with the world's oldest national park. I'm John Shearer in Yellowstone, and coming up, find out how that's exactly what happened here and learn how one woman's quick thinking saved several children.
What a local group of Bozeman women are doing to help those affected by the coronavirus. I'm Gabby Crevitt, and I'll have the story coming up.
Good morning. Just at 6:30 on this Monday, Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you. We'll have both those stories coming up in just a moment. Meantime, Matt, it continues to fluff out there.
Just a
lightly.
light snow outside the studio here, and we're dealing with some slick roads across the area. We're going to keep you updated on that. Right now, the temperatures are below freezing, so the snow that we have as we kind of drive along on that likely to be a little icy for your morning commute. I don't think the snow is going to last real long. In fact, I expect our skies to be fairly clear by the afternoon, certainly by the evening, but still dealing with some light snow for the first part of the day today. Looks like it's let up in the MSU campus. Still some light snow being reported at Burt Mooney Airport. Take it slow this morning. We're going to break down your road report coming up in just a few minutes.
Broom or shovel for my deck?
You were asking?
Yeah, broom or shovel.
Did you shovel this weekend?
I did.
Okay, broom is fine.
Broom it is. All right, it's a broom kind of day. Thank you, Matt. 6:30 now. Yellowstone National Park honoring a Livingston couple for alerting rangers to an apparent child abuse case in a park campground. The warning led to the arrest of 2 adults and the rescue of at least 5 children. TN's John Shearer explains how it all happened.
Now, Terry and Frank Denovi are being honored now for what they did, but the incident actually happened here at the Mammoth Campground back in late September.
There was another campsite diagonal to us.
Just like now, there was already snow in this campground.
When I was using the facilities, I would notice that there was a tent outside.
Denovi noticed a child, a boy, maybe 5 years old, coming out of that small tent.
And I could see that a look of fear on his face.
She counted 6 children.
Never playing, never smiling, never laughing.
And what really broke her heart was another child who was put in the tent. A boy with spina bifida who couldn't walk.
And he would drag himself through the snow to do his chores.
She confronted the man overseeing the children.
I said to the man, you need to get a coat or a blanket for that child now, or I'm going to go to law enforcement.
Instead of helping the child, the man told the campground host that Devoni was harassing him and the children. The intimidation didn't work.
And I went and reported my suspicion.
Rangers visited the parents, but soon after, the family left the campground.
Then I was very fearful that I've done more harm than good.
But the Rangers, working with authorities from 2 states, tracked the family down, and the couple was arrested on outstanding warrants from Arizona.
Felony child abuse, child endangerment, aggravated assault, and kidnapping.
The Park Service told the story on its Facebook page, and more than 160 comments praised the Devonis for their courage and actions. Terry Devoni says her experience is a reminder to always be watchful, no matter where you are.
Oh, this is Yellowstone. Can't be happening in Yellowstone, because it is, and it did.
Terry Denovi tells us being honored by the park is nice, but not really that important to her. What she really cares about are the children. She's glad they're safe and in loving homes. At the Mammoth Campground in Yellowstone National Park, I'm John Shearer for MTN News.
By the way, John tells us Terry Denovi is a trauma nurse who has special training to recognize child abuse and human trafficking. In other news this morning, 3 escapees still at large after a jailbreak in Bighorn County. The 3 who escaped include 34-year-old Anthony James Castro, 34-year-old Stephen Patty Ryan Caplet, and 25-year-old Andrew Leroy Parham. Now, Yellowstone County Sheriff Mike Linder says he received a call around 11:20 Friday night from Bighorn County. Sheriff Linder was told that a detention facility officer had been assaulted, his keys taken, that inmates had control of part of the jail. Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office Tactical Response Team and its jail's Special Emergency Response Team responded to Hardin. Sheriff Linder says that part of the jail was secured, but the 3 inmates may have escaped from an unsecured portion. He says as approximately 50 inmates were taken out before it was determined those 3 had escaped. Well, coronavirus has officially surpassed the death toll of the SARS outbreak from 2003, but no cases have been reported in Montana. MTN's Gabby Crevitt has the story on what locals are doing to help those affected overseas.
For a small group of women in Bozeman, news of the coronavirus hits extra close to home. Being thousands of miles away from their native country of China, these women were eager to find a way to help in whatever way possible. While chef Linda Huang is thousands of miles from where she grew up in China, she celebrates the Chinese New Year by bringing her authentic Chinese cooking to foodies in Bozeman.
This is actually, I will say, the saddest Chinese New Year in the last 40 years. We celebrate for our family in China, which is they cannot.
This year, news of the coronavirus has Linda and her friends at the Bamboo Garden in Bozeman sympathetic and worried for those back at home.
But we realized the urgent needs in China, so we started try to reaching out to the whole community in Bozeman.
Linda and friends purchased thousands of masks, gloves, and goggles from all over Bozeman and online and sent them to a hospital in China in need of medical supplies.
Right now, what we know is all America, almost the whole world, is a shortage of the mask.
The group of women taking charge of the local fundraiser are all part of the Montana Chinese Association. They say donations and support from locals have been critical in helping get the first shipment out.
We all connected. Like as a Chinese, doesn't matter you're living in China or you're overseas, we all together.
Linda and the Montana Chinese Association are still accepting donations to help those affected by the coronavirus. You can learn more about how to donate by visiting our website. Reporting in Bozeman, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
6:36 now, shifting gears just a bit. In our second Pekin Noodle Parlor preview, Jerry Tam takes us through the culinary styles and influences that have made the historic Butte restaurant an enduring tradition that's lasted more than a century.
Our particular style of cooking is Szechuan, Cantonese, and Burmese. A lot of spicy / non-reddish food. The Cantonese never had ketchup or dyes, so all of our sweet and sour sauces are brown, which you wouldn't see normally in the American Chinese restaurants. Some similarities, such as pork fried rice, sweet and sour chicken. Mostly the difference is our wok orders. Mainstay for our culture. A lot of American Chinese food is prepared in advance. The wok orders, they have to be individually cooked, fresh every time. Anything from the broccoli beans, the Szechuan chicken, tofu, mixed vegetables. Since the beginning, we have had this big neon sign saying Pekin Chop Suey. So right there off the sidewalk, you're wondering what chop suey is. Miners used to work 24/7 around the clock. At a certain point during the evenings, you'd run out of food. The miners demanded hot, fresh food when they get off work. So an American staple called chop suey was born. And chop suey is just like tidbits of scraps of, vegetables such as celery, onions, bean sprouts that they mixed together in its own vegetable gravy and served over hot chow mein noodles, which ended up being a big hit amongst the miners. Learning how to cook Cantonese and Szechuan style food, I learned from my father and he learned from his father. And we continue it on today.
Smell it. That's so good. You can watch all of the Under the Big Sky stories online at underthebigsky.com. Well, it is this month's time for a waiting child. This week, MTN's Sean Wells introduces us to 15-year-old Joshua, fun-loving teenager who excels in the classroom.
Meet Joshua, a 15-year-old teenager in the Flathead Valley who loves academics, playing her ukulele, and expressing herself through school programs.
Academically, I'm involved in choir and theater. I really appreciate those programs. I think for me, I'm not very athletic, so I think having those programs really helps me kind of express myself.
She excels in the classroom where her favorite subjects are English and science.
I want to become an anesthesiologist when I grow up. So I think, especially science, that's going to be very important for me.
Joshua is looking for a family that allows her to keep her independence, but also push her to achieve her dreams in and outside of the classroom.
Someone who's going to be there to push me to achieve my goals and not let me slide back, hold me accountable to my actions.
Joshua picked up her love for reading as a small child. She hopes to strengthen that passion in her new home.
A really big thing for me when I was a little kid. I've kind of fallen out of it recently. However, now that I'm kind of getting back into school and everything like that, like I've kind of reopened that passion for reading.
Joshua is open to having siblings and loves playing with animals, especially cats.
I love cats. They're like one of my favorite little things. I love dogs too, but for me, preferably cats.
She loves hiking and playing outside when weather allows and cooking a warm meal in her free time. In the Flathead Valley, I'm Sean Wells, MTN News.
Of course, if you'd like to find out more about our awaiting child, head on over to our websites. We're going to take a quick break here on Montana This Morning. When we come back, a new breakthrough in the fight against coronavirus. We have that update, but first we have this update of what's ahead on CBS This Morning.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, Joe Biden joins us to talk about his disappointing finish in Iowa and whether he can turn things around in New Hampshire tomorrow. Plus, in our morning rounds, fashion and beauty industry powerhouse Camila Coelho opens up about her struggle with epilepsy. And basketball legend turned filmmaker Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will be in Studio 57 to tell us about his new documentary, Black Patriots. All coming up when we see at 7.